This is the only instance of damage that is required to beat Elden Ring without using any glitches. And these are the bosses that I typically fight in order to beat the game. So I started to wonder, aside from this mandatory death at the beginning of the game, is it possible, without glitches, to purchase a new digital copy of Elden Ring and beat the game fast enough to get a refund, all while taking no damage? Well, let's find out. Okay, I am going to stop stalling. What route are we doing? No glitches? Yeah, so I should clarify that. Like, there's gonna be no glitches, no damage, potentially. If I take damage, I mean, that's it. I would have to get a new account. Judging by how long it took me to get this account set up, that probably won't be today, unfortunately. Let's do it. A quick overview of Steam's refund policy shows that you can be guaranteed a refund of any game if you request said refund no more than 2 weeks since the date of the purchase. And you have to have no more than 2 hours worth of playtime in that specific game. In other words, this would give me less than 2 hours to complete Elden Ring, since it would take at least a couple minutes to load into the game and customize my character. Now, I have done challenges on Elden Ring in the past, and beating the game in less than 2 hours is not that difficult for me. But beating the game in 2 hours without taking any damage? That would mean that I would not only have to not make any mistakes that would cost me valuable time, but I would also have to avoid any mistakes that would cause me damage. This means no hits from enemies, no fall damage, no environmental damage like lava and poison, and no self-inflicted damage. Every time I want to reset, I would have to pay a whopping $60. So it's simple. Play the game fast, and play the game perfectly. Should be easy. Right? Let's get started. I have to accept the terms. This is loud. This is really loud, dude. Okay, there we go. Wait, what else do I need? HUD to on. I think that's it. Alright, let's go. So, when going about this type of challenge, I thought it would be best to start with the Samurai class, since it has practically everything you need for the early game. You're given a bow, great armor just in case you need more poison resistance, and an Uchi katana. Thankfully, it being the first time that I've ever done a refund challenge like this, there were no technical issues at all. Wait a minute, why is my timer like... Bro, what is up with my timer? What is going on, dude? Oh no. No, dude, it just crashed. Alright, looks like we're gonna have a slow timer throughout the entire run. And it's gonna be red. Alright, yeah, this is going swimmingly. I start the run by jumping off the cliff in the Grafted Scion Arena, and taking the required death that I mentioned earlier. Remember, this is the only required instance of damage in the run, and since we're not using any glitches, there's no getting around this one. This is the only instance of damage that we're taking. That is literally the only time. Once I get to the Lands Between, I make my way to Caelid. Here I purchase both the crafting kit and some crackpots, which we can afford since I started with the Lands Between rune as my starting gift, which gives me more than enough runes for these items. We talk to Melina, get Torrent, and we begin the setup portion of the run. Oh my god. Gonna get to a dragonfly or something? I don't like this, dude. Why did I do this? Like, I could have just saved my $60, done something else with the money. I could have just, you know, like, just beat it in 2 hours instead of trying to do it no damage, too. Because Elden Ring is an open world game, it allows us to set up before starting to fight bosses and progress through the game. First, we travel across Limgrave and pick up important items like Golden Vow, which is an Ash of War that boosts our damage, Crystal Tears for our Physical Flask, and some smithing stones to upgrade our katana. Before traveling further into Limgrave, we encounter our first roadblock, fall damage. In many cases, you can avoid fall damage by finding a different route down to your destination. But this loses valuable time, which we are trying to save. So, instead, we will focus on negating any fall damage that we would have taken by using a certain craftable item, which is soft cotton. So that means we must head to Liurnia, pick up the crafting book for soft cotton along the way, and warp back to Limgrave. We use the soft cotton to descend the cliffs, pick up a crafting book for sleep pots, and head over to Fort Height, where we will obtain the Dectus Medallion half. Our time in Limgrave is done, so we move on to Caelid for more materials. In the grand scheme of things, we don't spend too much time in Caelid. We don't fight any bosses, and we definitely don't go to Radagon. Instead, we head straight to Fort Gale to pick up Flame Grant Me Strength, an incantation that increases our damage. We pick up both a Somber 8 and a Somber 9 Smithing Stone. We then purchase the Beast Repellent Torch, and then use that torch to make our way through Fort Ferrith. This way, when we run by any rats in the fort, the torch will pacify them as we obtain the other half of the Dectus Medallion and the Radagon Sword Seal. Quick little note, the Radagon Sword Seal Talisman does increase our maximum HP. However, it does not heal us while doing so. This means that you will see that our HP bar is not completely full, but this does not mean that we took damage. Simply, our maximum HP increased. Anyway, from here, we teleport to Liurnia. We speak with the first nomadic merchant by the shore, where we purchase some more smithing stones for our katana, and we also buy a staff that we will be using quite a bit throughout the run. And we will use that staff later to cast Unseen Form, because just like John Cena, we don't want people to see us, right? Going further into Liurnia, we speak with Raya, retrieve her locket, and return it to her to obtain the Volcano Manor invitation. Along the way, we also kill the scarab located in the middle of the poison swamp to obtain Vow of the Indomitable, which we will use very soon. We take the teleporter to Raya Lucaria, jump over the railing and use soft cotton to negate the fall. Take the next teleporter to the end of Liurnia. The only better place to go for advice other than Twitch chat is Reddit, don't you agree? I think so. And then begin to run by Caria Manor in order to go up the Dectus lift. Okay, so if you... this is actually an RNG segment of the run. If my game stutters at all here, there is a possibility that there is going to be a magic trail that I just cannot dodge. My game's already stuttering too. Oh my god, that was scary. Please stop it, Loretta, you idiot. Just keep moving forward. Yeah, this is a sub 2 hour attempt with $60 on the line. And I have to be, I gotta be perfect. From here, we speak to Melina for the first time since she gave us ownership of Torrent. And we warp to the Round Table, where we level up, upgrade the flasks, and our katana. We also equip Crystal Tears in our Physic Flask, and we equip both Golden Vow and Vow of the Indomitable on our dagger and our shield, respectively. Finally, we speak to Raya again to transfer us to Volcano Manor. Is this Steam Refund goal a common thing in the speedrun community? I wouldn't say it's common. I think it was popularized by Aggie, though. I think. That's the first person who I saw do this. But there have been multiple people who've attempted this in, like, other games. Alright, so this is another reason why we get the Beast Repellent Torch. If you have the Beast Repellent Torch out, Beast-type enemies do not attack you. This snail is a Beast-type enemy. And yes, sometimes it can attack you. So that's the reason why we have this torch. Now, Volcano Manor is a huge resource for us on this run. Not only do we fight our first 2 bosses here, but we get our main weapon that we will be using for the majority of the run. And we are able to get more upgrade materials and runes that will benefit us greatly for the rest of the run. Making our way through Volcano Manor is not the easiest thing to do, however. There are many enemies that are very dangerous in our path, and there are a few areas of exposed lava that we have to be mindful of, since one wrong move can put us into the lava and give us tick damage, and hence end the run. Alright, this snake guy sees us, or does he?
Oi,
Turning
where are
around.
you off to?
He almost didn't turn around, I was kind of scared. Hopefully the slugs are in a good position for us. This does not look like a bad position. Okay. Fortunately, we make it through the first half of Volcano Manor without a scratch. And we are able to fight our first boss, Godskin Noble. Now, Noble is usually a very erratic boss, but again, fortunately, I'm able to use sleep pods to my advantage and execute a very precise scripted kill on the boss. Oh my god, okay. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Nice, dude. Whew. All right, that's one down. I have messed up this strat countless times in the past, so it's safe to say that even though I killed Noble, I wasn't feeling calm at all. After Noble, we head to Riker's arena where we don't actually trigger the fight yet. Instead, we yoink the Serpent Hunter and teleport to Blacksmith EG, where we upgrade it to +9. The Serpent Hunter is a very powerful weapon that is a guaranteed pickup that just so happens to be located next to a Great Room boss. So it just kind of makes sense to use it for this type of run. Unfortunately, this is where things go terribly wrong. And now we fight Riker. Oh boy, okay. Okay. No! No, dude! What? I failed. I thought I could do it on my first try, but it turns out that I just let the pressure get to me and I made a very simple mistake. I was going to stop attempting the run here and come back to it another day, but there was a part of me that just knew that I can get this Steam Refund in the bag. You know what? Let me see how fast I can do this, because I am actually super duper down to do this at least one more time. So I said screw it, and I made a new email, a new Steam account, and I bought Elden Ring again for $60. Open for round 2 here. Let's do it. Yes, I agree. All right, here we go. Round 2. To be honest, having Riker kill the run was a bit of a blessing. Starting up my second attempt, I felt much more relaxed for some reason. My timer's okay. It's not bugged out again, so that's good. Am I not bored of this game? I mean, like, if you have a goal for yourself, you're always gonna go after the goal, right? It's like asking, you know, Magnus Carlsen if he's bored of chess or something. All right, just so everyone knows, this death right here does not count. This is a scripted death. You cannot avoid it without using glitches, and we're not using glitches. All right, done deal. No, the boss is killable, but if you kill the boss, you still have to die. The chocolate industry is driven by your slave Oompa Loompa labor. Gotcha. I don't doubt it. Honestly, I would love Willy Wonka to be in Fortnite or something. Hopefully it isn't daytime. Okay, good. Because if it's daytime, then that means enemies can see me from farther away, which is not good. It seems like I'm faking or forcing my laughs. Yeah, you gotta keep the content up. I've never been happy in my entire life. I asked my dad to name 2 things that contain water. He thought for a minute, then said, well, damn. Can I get a ban on Silo, please? Eventually, we reached Volcano Manor again. We killed Godskin Noble again, somehow, even though I was way more nervous this time around. And we encountered Riker yet again. But this time, we were much more focused. Okay. Oh my god. It wasn't the cleanest fight, but it was a win nonetheless. With Riker dead, we warp back to Limgrave, where we then fight Margit, who gives us another talisman pouch, which we will be using to hold the Ritual Sword Talisman, which increases our damage output by 10%. In order to get this talisman, though, we must fight one of the hardest bosses in the entire game. After that, we head over to the Mirage Tower in the middle of the Altus Plateau to receive the spell Unseen Form. With this spell, we are able to sneak through Stormvale Castle, headshot some enemies standing in our way, and safely get to Godrick's Arena, our second Great Rune boss. Okay. The dragon's dead. I didn't save the dragon, no one cycle. It's okay. This isn't the hardest boss in the run, but it is very important to skip at least most of phase 2, since his fire attacks in this phase can have some very questionable hitboxes. With both Godrick and Riker dead, we have enough Great Runes to enter Leyndell. So we teleport back to Altus Plateau and we make our way to the entrance of the capital, where, on my way, I realize that we are just over halfway through the game, but only have half of our time remaining. I'm looking at the timer, we're halfway there. We're halfway there, dude. After riding stealthily past the stone golem archers, we have yet another boss fight that is just damn near impossible. Although Leyndell is one of the more interesting areas in the game, our trip here is pretty uneventful. We cast Unseen Form, sneak past the bubble dudes, descend onto the rooftops, make our way up the Dragon Wing, and find ourselves fighting Godfrey's spirit. I have to admit, this is usually a very easy boss on a normal run, but the nerves were really starting to get to me here. Alright. After the unnecessarily tense fight, we immediately made our way to Morgott. Typically, this fight can be very difficult on a casual playthrough, however, this is where we can see the Serpent Hunter shine. I like to call this strat, Jump into Dead, True Combo. There we go. Holy cow. So, after fighting Morgott, we check the Ur Tree and then we speak to Melina at the Grace. And a very small yet important thing that we do here is change the time of day. As you may know, Elden Ring has many bosses that appear only at night in the overworld. If we just so happen to leave Leyndell during nighttime, while on our way to the mountaintops of the Giants, we would risk running into a Knight's Cavalry along the way. This wouldn't really be a problem in a normal speedrun, however we want to mitigate as much risk as we possibly can, because even the tiniest mistake can lead to a sliver of damage done to us. And, well, that would kill the run. So, after changing the time of day to morning, and riding through mountaintops of the Giants, which takes nearly 6 minutes to do, we eventually get to Fire Giant. Okay. Good. Yes! Oh, man. I am absolutely ecstatic after that fight. I was having my doubts before, but for some reason, my confidence levels are through the roof after that fight. Anyway, we get Melina to barbecue herself and to send us the Crumbling Farum Azula, and the first portion of this area is a bit uneventful, with us utilizing Unseen Form throughout the running sections up until we get to Godskin Duo. Remember the sleep pot strat that we used for Godskin Noble? Well, we also use the sleep pots here as well to mitigate as much RNG as possible between the two bosses. Yes!
Where are you off to?
Oh my god. Alright. Up until this point in the run, there haven't been too many running sections that have been difficult to get through. Sure, we had Volcano Manor, which requires some attention to detail when running through, but since then we haven't really had to be too careful outside of boss fights. The second half of Farum Azula changes that for us. A lot. You see, there are many enemies in this section who have ranged attacks and often appear in groups along the way. And most notoriously, we have to deal with the dreaded birds and make the dragon disappear before we can advance to the next boss. But with the help of Unseen Form and our bow and arrow, it becomes much more doable for us. We pick up our last upgrade material, the Ancient Somber Smithing Stone, and we have a completely normal time getting through the remaining enemies and to the last grace before Maliketh. No! Oh my god. I don't know what to do, dude. What do I do? Am I gonna die? I don't know if I'm gonna die, dude. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it, dude. Oh, oh. Wow. Somehow, we made it to the elevator. I was positive that I was going to take a hit at least 3 different times during that entire ordeal. My heart was beating through my chest, and I completely lucked out after such a simple mistake. But in the end, we got past everything. After upgrading the Serpent Hunter one last time to +10 with EG, we were now ready to take on Maliketh. Maliketh, like some other bosses in the run, can have a scripted kill yet again that allows you to avoid many attacks in Phase 2. This is often easy to execute, but nerves got the best of me and I screwed up big time throughout the fight. Oh my god, alright. Stop it. Oh my god. Give me something, dude. I cannot believe it. Oh my god. Somehow I got a stagger at the beginning of phase 2. Don't ask me how. And amazingly, we made it to the end of the game back at Leyndell. So, Gideon Ofnir is our next boss. So, Hoarah Loux is the next boss in the run, and things get pretty out of hand very early on. How the fight is supposed to go is similar to Maliketh's fight. You deal damage in phase 1, and you attempt to get a stagger at the very beginning of phase 2 in order to skip the majority of the phase. This didn't happen. Oh my god. Dang it. Yes! I don't deserve it, man. So, miraculously, after one of the most intense boss fights I've ever had, here we are, at the end of the road. With only 2 boss fights left in our path, we only have Radagon and Elden Beast in our way. Radagon, possibly being the most difficult boss in the run, needs to go perfectly. If I miss an attack, if I mistime a roll, if I don't kill him immediately after he performs the triple slam attack, it could mean failure. Alright. And then, Elden Beast. did it! I can't believe it, dude. I can't believe it, man. Oh my god. Wait, not yet. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. But we did it. We just beat Elden Ring fast enough to get a full refund. And we did it all while taking no damage. And without using any glitches. This was an incredible experience, and it has opened me up to the possibility of doing more of these refund runs in the future. The reason why we're returning it is because the game is too difficult. Grafted Scion OP. Submit request. Also, yes, if you're wondering, we actually did receive a full refund from Steam a few hours after completing the run. And there it is, the full $60 plus tax. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this in the future, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified of future videos. And if you want to see more challenges like this done live, be sure to check out my live stream on Twitch. Again, links in the description. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.